Hey folks, this is Jake Davis with the top 5 video for you. And today I'm going to be ranking down my personal picks for the best films or my favorite films and the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Nightmare on Elm Street, also known as the Freddy Krueger movies, is the story of a child killer who, after being murdered by vengeful, righteous adult parents, it becomes a dream demon and feeds on the souls of children. There have been 9 Freddy Krueger movies in all, including a sequel, including a remake, a spin-off, and a fucking uber meta what the fuck disattached piece. I've done quite a few horror movie themed top 5 videos over my time on YouTube, including my favorite horror movies, period. I think that was my first ever top 5 video. I've done my favorite Stephen King movies, favorite horror films from the 80s and 70s, favorite Chainsaw movies, my favorite Friday the 13th movies, and now my favorite Freddy Krueger movies. And there might be a few there I'm missing. So, yeah, let's get into it. Real quick points. While a lot of people talk about the Friday the 13th films, often refer to them as their favorite of the slasher franchises, I personally, even though I think they're overall, you break them down by individual movie, percentage-wise, the Friday the 13th films are far more terrible movies, but as a franchise, are far more satisfying, because there's so much forgettability. At least when you sit down in a Friday the 13th movie, you know what you're going to get. With Nightmare on Elm Street, you don't know if you're going to get just utter fucking laziness or some kind of pseudo-intellectual, artsy kind of nonsense. It's a bizarre franchise. It really is. But they've all mainly come back to being beloved because of the central performance of Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger. Except for the remake, where they got Oscar nominee Jackie Earle Haley, Robert Englund is played Freddy Krueger in every movie. Which is certainly not the case with like Leatherface or Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers. And please, once again, try to remember, these are just my personal favorites. And favorite is a very loose use of the word, because there's only like 3 of these movies I actually like. So, number 5. I'm going to say A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. This movie, I was kind of torn between this one and 2 others. I ultimately came down to this one because of its uniqueness. It's definitely stands out, being I guess the appropriate phrase used would be homoerotic. It's a homoerotic movie. But that's not what puts me off about it. What bothers me about the film is it's very repetitive, and I've never liked horror movies that continuously have the scene of the person, oh, why won't somebody believe me, and just, again and again and again with that kind of thing. And of course, as soon as he finally does get somebody to believe him, that person instantly gets killed, and then that scene right after that is, why won't someone believe me? It's, I've never liked horror movies like that. However, it has a pretty gruesome kill count. The only real mass slaughter in the whole Freddy Krueger franchise. A weird ending, and as always, an awesome performance from Robert Englund. And I used to have a t-shirt of him in this one, where he has, it's not the glove, but just the claws are coming out of the hand. I had a t-shirt like that back in the day. But yeah, it's not that great. It's not very good. Number 4. I'm going to say Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. Oh, God forgive me. I can feel the shame right now. I'll tell a story about my cousins. They've told me this story many times. Their mom took them to a horror movie double feature back when they were kids at a drive-in here in Florida in Plant City, and they went to see the double feature of Freddy's Dead and Ernest Scared Stupid. And they thought that Ernest Scared Stupid was resoundingly a better horror movie. It was scarier, more entertaining, the whole nine. But for me personally, I think it's just, it's not good. It's god awful, sure, but the it has, one of the better budgets of the entire franchise. It just sleekness counts for something. A sense of bewilderment and what the fuck the whole movie. It's wacky, but it's funny. I get solid laughs out of that movie. I like all the cameos, like Roseanne Barr, Tom Sizemore, Tom Arnold. Yaphet Kotto's not really a cameo. Alice Cooper has a cameo, and somebody I'm missing here, Johnny Depp. And everybody hates the video game shit, but to me, it's the silliness. The silliness makes, and the fourth wall breaking, make it more memorable. And like I said, having a better production overall and having the 3D sequence at the end, it just really gets the bid for just being more memorable. And even though it doesn't have good characters, at least it takes a more interesting approach of, against the typical slasher approach of just introducing a whole bunch of characters with completely one dimensional and killing them all off. This movie just tries to center on 4 or 5 main characters and only kill off 2 or 3 to make them more more of a character, but they're still all just one dimensional. But yeah, it's once again not really good, but it gives credit for being more memorable than a lot of the others. Number 3. Now we get into the movies I actually like. Freddy vs. Jason. When I did my best Friday the 13th movies, I had it as my favorite Jason movie, and I stand by that, but it's just my number 3 favorite Freddy film, even though I think Jason is a more watchable franchise as far as, binging. It's Freddy versus Jason, it's stupid, it's silly, it's gory, there's lots of tits, bad language, and blood. It's the only film in either franchise that I saw at the theaters. Robert Englund's great in it. I love the callbacks of things, the tie-ins of both franchises, like Hypnosil. I love this one. I love Freddy vs. Jason, and one of my favorite. It has one of my absolute favorite Freddy Krueger moments in the whole in the whole Freddy Krueger series. Is when he gets pissed up and he comes flying out of the water and he's all demon faced and shit like that. It's really cool looking look for Freddy. Number 2. A Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984 original. Yes, the original is my number 2. It has maybe the most iconic murders of the whole franchise, the most famous memorable kills, the Golden Chainsaws, with both Johnny Depp's death and the original Tina death. But overall, the slow burn, the mystery of what the Dream Killer is and who Freddy Krueger is it's intriguingly played out. Has terrific performances from, of course, Robert Englund, John Saxon, and especially Ronnie Blakely. Probably the best performance in the whole franchise. But what I've never really liked about Nightmare on Elm Street the original, is I don't like Heather Langenkamp. I'm sorry. I think she's a stiff, boring actress who doesn't open her mouth when she speaks and barely enunciates. And I never particularly liked the ending. Just what you just. I tell Freddy Krueger you don't believe him anymore, and he just disappears. It's a stupid ending. Which brings me to my number one. My favorite Nightmare on Elm Street film is probably most people's favorite, The Dream Warriors. It's just, I love the colors to it. All around, it's the most intriguing idea. The concept, the hypnocell, the the juvie nut house of kids who having sleep problems. All the kid actors are good and likable, particularly characters like Kincaid and Jennifer Rubin's role. Uh, Probably my favorite kill in the whole series. The TV kill. Welcome to prime time, bitch. The marionette scene. It's just all around, the most iconic and coolest stuff. The best effects and art direction and makeup in the whole franchise. And like I said, the marionette thing, the giant snake Freddy monster he turns into, the Ray Harryhausen skeleton they fight at the end, who has the razor hand. All around, and of course oh man, when I first saw it as a kid, a lifelong crush kicked off for Patricia Arquette there. I tell you what, and without question, in my opinion, Robert Englund's best performance in the whole franchise. He's absolutely great in this one. Those are my top 5 Freddy Krueger movies, Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I guess I'll go and give you my quick opinions on the other 4, because there's only 4 more. Run through them real quick. First off, the remake. I like the remake. Almost made the cut. But I think that the best lines and best shots of the movie are all lifted right from Wes Craven. It just doesn't, it's not fresh or new or original enough to kind of justify its own existence, despite having terrific performances from, Rooney Mara, Connie Britton, Clancy Brown, Katie Cassidy, and especially Jackie Earle Haley. I don't like Kyle Garner in it, but I don't like him at all. But I do like the kind of thing they threw in there about the so much time conscious will cause you to hallucinate. As someone who has personally suffered from both insomnia and sleepwalking, yeah, that shit happens, and it can be scary. Dream Child to me is easily the worst in the whole franchise, mostly because not only of its utter silliness, total forgetfulness, but also a shameful lack of Robert Englund. What it all comes down to with that. And this silly, stupid kid thing. Dream Master almost made my cut out of pure nostalgia. It was the first Freddy Krueger movie I ever saw. As well as I still say it has definitely the best kill scene for Freddy Krueger. Most gruesome kill for Freddy. And finally, New Nightmare. The uber meta story. A lot of people like this movie. I've never really been a fan of it. I did revisit it recently, a few years ago. I still don't like it. To me, it's far too slow. Like I said, I don't like Heather Langenkamp. And the whole really crippling probably would have made the top 5. But to me, the fact that it's not actually Freddy kind of dampens the whole thing for me. Yeah, it's just a demon using the image of Freddy Krueger to get into people's minds. I love the look of Freddy Krueger in this one. I love the razors coming straight out of the hand. I love the more accentuated red and green in his fedora and suit, and far more sinister burn marks on his face. The look of Freddy's great in New Nightmare, but I really ultimately think the movie's kind of boring. That's my take on Freddy. So that's Freddy, Jason, and Leatherface down. Maybe I'll get around to doing Chucky and Michael Myers eventually. I should probably do my top 5 90s horror movies, though. Problem is, I don't think there are 5 good horror movies from the 90s. Anyhow, hope y'all like this video. Please like, share, subscribe, comment if you want. I don't care. I'm Jake Davis, and I'll catch you on the fly.